Hey guys, Christmas Day, quick little update. XVG, wow, what an interesting time it's been on XVG. In fact, privacy coins have been of great note recently and have outperformed generally. But this one we're going to talk about, we were real fortunate to be tracking it and watching it on that HVF right down there. This is the big time frame, the 12 hourly of everything that occurred. Largely a whole bunch of nothing. In fact, selling off from at one point being 189 Satoshis all the way down to the lower part of the 40s at its low. So no one was paying too much attention, you can imagine, at XVG. Some will say, well, it was all McAfee on his, a pump and dump of McAfee's, etc., etc. Well, then they had some positive news, and everyone will get involved in the narrative of whether it was Mr. McAfee's heads up, whether it was the fact that they made some positive announcements and there were developments coming online, and you can get into the detail, or you can be technical and look at what happens and where the money, follow the money instead of always the narrative. You never know what's good PR, what's fact, what's going to be backed by real investment and what isn't. And with that in mind, this was the journey. Note the volume clearly climbed substantially. It was reasonably bouts of volume over here as well, it has to be said. But you can't see anything from that. So let's show you in our Basecamp premium area how it might have looked. These were where we initially started tracking it, and you can have a look at the charts there. This was our supposition trade. This was in and around 105 Satoshis it was at that juncture. You can see it at that point. You can, in fact, hit on this chart again. It'll expand to the whole screen. Once you're in premium, you'll be shown how to do that. But I've got a couple to show you, and it takes a while to just open them all up and shut them back down, so I'm not going to do that. We did, in fact, have a little dip down one last time and make a slightly lower period before we went, but that didn't stop us from eventually keeping an eye on it and making the trade. Where and when, let's get through to what subsequently started happening with it. Here it is. You can see the beginning of that journey. At that point we were at 1640, and that's all continuation patterns the whole way up that we were able to do. So this is your macro view. That was the original one way down here. And as a result it's moved substantially. But what happened just now? Well, I posted this cautionary on XVG saying, you know, it's been a great old ride, but this could be a trend change, and we could have first inverted HVF in a new trend. This going really, really high, close to a double top, and then squaring up and go low volatility like this often leads to what's known as a high line ascending inverted HVF, which can lead to first in a new trend. We'd had a break there, and I didn't like that at all, and it had spilled, and of course it rallied and failed at funnel again. So this was a wind up for us to see a deep run through 1109. Now when you think first inverted in a new trend, you always get overperformance, and with a lot of FOMO buying on the way up, that's fear of missing out buying on the way up, you can imagine what kind of panic buying you'll get on the way down. So it's quite feasible and likely that you'll get a mega spike to the downside. That said, if it's an attractive coin, after mega spiking to the downside and running many people's stops and being as emotional to the upside, fear of missing out, and as fear of loss pain on the downside, the geometry being naturally the same, you would have overperformance to this 11,000 target, and you could do a close in this environment at a highly beneficial rate. So imagine for a minute now you've ridden all the way up, or certainly up the 60% to target at the first instance, and overperformance from the 260 Satoshi level all the way with 40% of your stake all the way up to here. You would have benefited immensely. We were very, very lucky. It was one of our biggest trades, and it just rained benefits and gave many options for you to get back in as well on the keep on keeping on, which is something we'll teach you in the 18 steps program as part of your trading metamorphosis program when you come on board. But anyway, you get this little wind up, and this is what's called a wind up. You'll learn more about what wind ups are, and they are essentially in-play setups, the in-play zone. Once the pattern is triggered, that wind up to take you through target and often lead to the capitulation point. We just run first interim and second interim, so we were churning for a while. You get a bit of progress decay, quite an impulsive bounce. Many people who if they'd gone short here, would have feared that it was turning around already. Only if you trust the process are you standing by the trade. That's why you need to learn a process, see why it works in your favor, and trade by process process, not by emotion and reaction. Anyway, that said, how did it pan out? Well, I do actually have, I believe, a live chart. That was XVG against the dollar. And that is how it turned out from this setup up top here. So as I say, getting out at 17s, which is pretty good because the highest point it actually traded is in the 19s. Getting out at 17s. How low did it trade? Wow, well, take a mark there when you get fear selling 801 all the way down just before a funnel that we had identified on the chart before. Have a look at it in Coinergy and you'll get the idea. I'll expand that from the 12 hours. This just shows you how relatively boring for a long time it was. Knowing when and having a methodology. If you'd sat in this coin all this time, how many people would have got bored and sold out? Only if you're hodling and you have a real fundamental reason or an insight or a real belief, might you still have been if you'd got in here many months or moons ago and had Bitcoin tied up in here all the time while Bitcoin is going up. You can't help but tinker. So that's your 4 hourly. Let's bring it in. Your 2 hourly, you can see this was where the original setup was all just breaking, and what a great trade it turned out to be. Now, roughly from the 16th of December, to here, you could have gone in from in and around the hundreds levels and run to 1900s. And if you waited for the first inverted, you could have been in out anywhere in the 1700 range. 17x your money with repeated opportunities to put bigger stake in after doing a 60% closure for overperformance on your initial pattern, and then just buying the individual setups. And there were many of them on smaller time frames that I haven't included, and these are all, you won't recognize them because they're all smaller time frames, more obvious, and I'm just doing a simple squeeze there to show you. Here's your first inverted. That target was made plus with overperformance as a first setup in a new trend, and you could have traded 60% out there and then overperformance managed. If you had sold at the 1700s level, you would have locked in half your stake and gained Bitcoin at an immense rate all the way down to low 11s, and then the other 40% you could have got out sub 10 in the 900s or even 800s range, which would mean, wow, almost a 2x, in fact, on depending where in the 17s you sold. The final entry here at 1620, so another 2x of Bitcoin valuation on the short side as well. The big problem is people all make money on the way up. They never know when to take off the table. The complete absence of a methodology. And if you think this is all retrospective draw, here's my WhatsApp group with the premium guys. XVG BTC, possible inverted from our trade leaders group here. That goes only me talking. We've got lots more interactive ones where all the guys are involved in the crypto room, the social trader, the forex, the newbies for all the guys that are new. But that was the draw. Getting it up quickly, just illustrating it. I'd already seen the bigger inverted. I came back and did the full draw for them and posted it on Basecamp, but the quick warning, and even if you were only reacting then on the break of the grind line, you could have saved yourself a very emotional journey. I had a number of people that I know that were in 24, 25, 30 Bitcoins in XVG, and they'd done really well. Can you do without watching your coin fall from the 1800s all the way down to 800? You certainly can, especially on a Christmas day, and that was the beginning of that journey when it first made target. There's a huge wick there that's hidden by the volume histogram that you might not see, and it traded lower from there as well. So that's the value of having community. You can't have eyes in the back of your head. You can't all watch everything all by yourself. Don't be isolated. So there you go. A little bit of a rally. You've got to say that wick's been bought back. It's still a negative candle, but it's been bought back. There are reasons, real reasons, to want to hold XVG, but we can now be out of that. Whether there will be further overperformance to the downside, or this is just a reaction to an extreme capitulation, who knows? Anyway, if you're interested in finding out more, you can either go to the website, or if you follow me on Twitter at themarketsniper.com, I have posted a link to our last webinar, and you can come to that one. There is an offer. It's only available till 2017, 31st of December, GMT time, new year. There is an offer for you to get involved from 18. As I say, we're bringing in new systems. A lot are going down in terms of our community development. So if you follow me on Twitter, you can find that under my either the Crypto Sniper or the Market Sniper. It's going to go through on the Crypto Sniper, but I've also retweeted it on the Market Sniper. So follow here at the Crypto Sniper, and you can get that link and be part and parcel of our community. With that, I hope you had a good Christmas day and get some time out with family and all of that good stuff. Thank you for being followers again, and look forward to giving you an update. We'll be talking about Bitcoin and what I see next. I'm seeing a 2x opportunity for those, and I'm discussing it on our premium boards right now, and the guys are getting primed and ready for that. What will it be? How will it take place? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Anyway, speak to you all soon, and trade small. Nothing I say is meant to be advice, by the way, and enjoy yourselves, and look forward to talking to you as we run into the new year.